Hello, I am Christy from Christy's Home, and today we are going to make zucchini bread. So it's going to be simple. You are going to have some zucchini, but the rest of this stuff you probably have in your kitchen counter, in your kitchen cabinets. Okay, today I'm going to use a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to put it in a big bowl, and then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder right in there. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of, baking soda. Just a 1/2 teaspoon. Sorry, 1/2 teaspoon, Christy. Of baking soda. And I put things behind me so I know when I've used them. That's kind of a little hack that I do. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. No, I'm not. I'm going to use a teaspoon. I know, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use a teaspoon of cinnamon. This is what's going to make our bread taste so warm and yummy. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Be sure you get this right. A 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I've got all that behind me. And I'm going to whisk this together. Just going to whisk it together real quick, our dry ingredients together in this big bowl. Okay? And I've got my oven set to 350 degrees. Okay, this is whisked together, and it already smells wonderful because you can smell that cinnamon and nutmeg. And it's going to go right there in front of me. So now I've got 1 stick of melted butter. This is going to be our wet ingredient bowl. And then to this, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. Okay, that can go behind me. And then I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of applesauce. Now, if you would rather use 1 cup of sugar, you can, but I'm using a 1/2 and 1/2. A 1/2 cup of sugar, a 1/2 cup of applesauce. Now that can go behind me. I'm going to use 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Throw that in the sink. 2 eggs. Throw that in the sink. I know, I'm just really silly. And now I'm going to add some vanilla. I would usually use about a tablespoon, so I just eyeball it. Please always use some decent vanilla. Don't use that imitation vanilla. Please don't use that. I picked this up in the when I was in the Caribbean when I picked this up. I got the light vanilla, the white vanilla, and I also got some of the regular dark colored vanilla. And this is the pure vanilla extract. So get some good vanilla. You can pick it up at Kroger. All right, so now I'm going to whisk this together. This is our wet, that's our dry. See how simple this is? I've only been on here for 3 minutes and like 34 seconds. And the other thing we have to do now is grate our zucchini real quick. So I've got it sitting right over here. Now, I would like to use a medium size zucchini. This one was pretty wimpy, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grate it. I would like to use about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of zucchini. And don't squeeze the moisture out of this. Leave the moisture in. So I'm just going to grate this real quick. You can see how quickly you can have this in the oven, usually within 5 minutes or less. But I'm talking, so we'll see how much this yields. So just be careful. I'm always pretty careful when I get down to the end. Okay. Actually, I mean, that might be enough. That could be enough. So let's just go ahead and, so I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to pour our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. And I do not ever, ever want to overmix. Don't do this with the mixer. Please don't do this with the mixer. Just kind of stir it up in there. Stir it up. Just don't overmix is all I'm saying. Just give it a stir until everything's incorporated. And it doesn't take a whole lot. You're going to see that it doesn't take a whole lot. Okay. Once all that flour is incorporated and mixed up in there, you are good to go. Okay, now let's fold in our zucchini. I'm going to fold it up in there, and I'm going to see if there's pretty much a good amount of zucchini in there. And if not, we can fold in some more. So let's just fold this in. Give it a fold. Just give it a fold. Fold. It doesn't have to be totally green. Okay, I think that's probably doable. I'll save that zucchini. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag. No big deal, no problem at all. So there we have it. There is our mixture for zucchini bread. And I've been on there 6 minutes. Spray your pan with some Pam. You could also put these into a muffin cups. I've done that before. And they are delicious. And what I did is I put some turbinado sugar on top. And they were wonderful. I'm taking this to a friend. So I'm taking this to a friend that loves zucchini bread. So there we have it. I'm gonna get all this off of my spatula. Actually, I'm making a mess. So let's get it on here, and then I'm just gonna kind of do this. I'm gonna put this into a 350-degree oven, and I'm gonna check it after about 40 minutes. And if it's not done, you can just keep it in there for a few more minutes until it's completely done when your toothpick comes out clean. And I'm gonna come back in a few minutes and show you the finished product. Okay, y'all, it is out of the oven. It baked for 50 minutes at 350 degrees. And here is our zucchini bread. You can see the zucchini in there. It's cooled off, but I'm sorry, I can't cut it because it's going to a friend. But it smells wonderful. It's all nice and cool. So here it is, and I'm telling you, you're gonna absolutely love it. And putting that applesauce in there in place of half the sugar makes it nice and moist. So give it a try, leave me a comment, and please subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. And you can share this right along. I'd also appreciate that. I love you all. See you guys next time.